With only 3 episodes to go in the final season of The Handmaid's Tale, things are really starting to hot up. With a wedding on the horizon between Serena and Commander Wharton, Serena's morals being tested as she's allowing Gilead to return to its old ways so she can become the leader again. The plan for Mayday looking like it's going to cause absolute chaos and allow them to potentially get the revenge that they're seeking, and Janine being held captive by Commander Bell. As we enter the final third, it's all set for action. With the next episode being titled Exodus, which means a mass departure of people, Gilead could begin to crumble. With a week to go until the next episode gets released, I thought it would be worth giving my theories and predictions on what I think could happen next. So let's get into it. Here is The Handmaid's Tale Season 6, Episode 8, Theories Explained. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Mayday's attack at Serena's wedding. One of the main things that I think we're going to see occurring in the next episode of the show is the carrying out of June and Mayday's plan, where they'll be launching an attack on the commanders at Serena's wedding. The final few minutes in the previous episode definitely rushed through the preparation of what was on the horizon. However, we've now seen that the foundations have been laid down and June and Moira have made it back into Gilead, ready to join the resistance. We heard that many of the handmaids had been made aware of what was on the horizon, other than Janine. And this is where I feel we could see June break off from Moira and the rest of the handmaids and go and save Janine. We know that she feels committed to saving her, as we saw her tell Janine to go with herself and Moira a few episodes back, but Janine chose not to. So with June's savior complex paired with the fact that she cares a lot about her, I think we're definitely going to see her doing what she can to get her. I also think Commander Lawrence might get roped into helping June with that too. He knows that all of the commanders are after his blood and are set on destroying the very thing that he built, which is the progressive, softer side of Gilead in New Bethlehem. And with his close connection to Janine and showing a sympathetic side during this season when giving her the drawing that her daughter did, I think that he'll feel obliged to help her, as June will most likely need some kind of distraction to get into the house, unless Janine is actually left there on her own whilst Bell and his wife go to the wedding, as he did say that she wasn't ready for public viewing. When June first lays eyes on Janine, I think that'll be such an emotional moment, because it's going to be shocking seeing the treatment that she's been put through. Judging by the trailer, it genuinely looks like all hell breaks loose on the streets, so I wonder if there's going to be several parts to this battle. Maybe some commanders will be killed at the wedding or shortly after the ceremony, and then in retaliation, a widespread attack on the likes of New Bethlehem could occur. We know the commanders want it gone after all. This could be why Commander Wharton wants Serena out of the picture straight after the wedding, because he knows something that we all don't and Serena doesn't either, and that could be that New Bethlehem is going to be burned to the ground, and then Lawrence could be set to face the wall. It did look like there was a bit of a trial that was taking place in the trailer, and an execution too, so I wonder if June is going to be caught and face punishment for her involvement. This could then lead the rest of the handmaids to want to fight back in support of her, and this could be where we'd see Nick show that he was going to pick June over Gilead and his own life. Nick doesn't believe in the life that he's leading, and everything around him is crumbling and he's feeling the weight of the blood on his hands, so he may view the greatest sacrifice of all as being the very thing that ends up saving June. This could also lead to the widespread fight that we saw taking place in the trailer as chaos ensues. I do wonder where this leaves Hannah in the show and the potential reunion. She could well be at the wedding, which will be our first true appearance of her in this season. I am now starting to question if there's going to be any kind of happy ending for June, Luke and Hannah. We know that the Testament spin-off show is happening, which shows that Gilead is still functioning in some capacity, but we're not too sure what capacity the show will allow it to function in. And we also know that Hannah is in the Testaments. So I'm now starting to think that we won't get that happy ending that I was hoping for. I think it could actually end up being quite a sad one. I think we could see Hannah looking on as June is captured or killed, and there'll be an abundance of emotion for June being so close to Hannah as she locks eyes with her. The very thing that she's been after most. But with Hannah not recognizing her due to the Gilead indoctrination and being taken away many years ago, she'll be looking on whilst feeling absolutely nothing. This would make a real uncomfortable, unsettling, but appropriate ending. The Handmaid's Tale isn't a story that ends with complete resolution, and I'm hoping the show takes that approach as well. We've spent several years watching some really hard-hitting stuff and seeing a society transform into a horrific state. So a happy ending overnight is something that wouldn't quite feel tonally appropriate. There can be signs of progression and a future, but even if it's just the start, then that'd work. So this plan that Mayday and June have been working on has the potential to go in many different directions, and I can't wait to see how it unfolds. Janine's revenge. When it comes to Janine in the next couple of episodes, I think we're going to see her being rescued by June, and then with that, it will give her the freedom and platform to be able to seek revenge on her captor, Commander Bell. Commander Bell has seemed like the biggest villain of them all in this season due to the possessive and abusive stance that he's had with Janine, and with her being released, I think she'll be gunning for his blood specifically. He was likely involved in ordering all of the girls to be killed, hence why Janine was the only one that survived. I think Janine will be successful in killing Commander Bell, and when that scene unfolds, it'll probably be such a satisfying one. I imagine Bell will be begging for his life, and Janine, for the first time in their entire relationship, she'll be the one that holds all of the power. Honestly, I'd be utterly devastated if Janine falls victim to Commander Bell or a Guardian. She's gone through so much, and she's genuinely a character that deserves a happy ending. With Commander Lawrence being on her side, I think he'll also arrange for her to be reunited with her daughter, giving her the ultimate happy ending. I actually reckon the next episode could potentially see the killing of Commander Bell, especially if it needs to be done in order for Janine to get out of his house and attend the wedding, because we know that she does make it there. Serena's conflicted mind. Serena, how have you managed to end up in this situation again? Oh, I know, because you're power hungry and love being the queen. What's particularly interesting about Serena in this season is that she knows that she's on the wrong side of the moral battle, but her hunger for power and importance is what's driving her forward with Commander Wharton. This whole marriage has the potential to come crashing down, and the caring, loving side to Wharton that we've seen, which could be a facade, could well dissolve, and I imagine we'll see the true version of him coming out. The version which believes in the traditional values of Gilead and wants to treat her as a commander usually treats their wife. Commander Wharton has explicitly said how he doesn't want her to hide any part of herself and that she can be who she wants to be because he loves every part of her. Plus, when Serena revealed the friction between herself and the other wives due to their distaste of New Bethlehem and also the idea of the handmaids being integrated into regular life, he was supportive of her and said how the other wives would come around to her ideas. I think the moment that they say I do and he carries her over the threshold, that'll change. We caught a glimpse of the anger that he has within him when he was speaking with Nick and trying to get the truth out of him, so that could seep into their marriage. I believe he could be behind the potential destruction of New Bethlehem that's been murmured amongst the other commanders, and also the plan to kill Commander Lawrence. Something which essentially makes all of the work that Serena's been doing redundant, as she is the vision of hope and future that the residents believe in, so if it's not there, then what's the point? Serena believes that she has support from her future husband, and that's what's most likely not making her worry about the resistance and friction with her beliefs. But I think we'll see regrets start to come to the forefront when they do get married, which could cause her to end up siding with the likes of Mayday, as she won't want to be married to a reincarnation of Fred. I think the next 2 episodes are going to be extremely important when it comes to laying down the foundations for the finale. The platform was built during the ending of the previous episode with the plan, and now it's all about where they go from there and how it's used to elevate the story. Honestly, I can't wait. We could genuinely have some of the best episodes of The Handmaid's Tale on the horizon, so let's wait and see. So, there you have it, The Handmaid's Tale Season 6 Episode 8 Theories Explained. If you want to see every episode of The Handmaid's Tale Season 6 being broken down, then click on the card in the top corner, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future videos. What do you think will happen next? Share your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video and I'll see you in the next one.